Shalom.
Shalom.
Call halal yamla
YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone and teach them well. Peace and salutations be to the lawful elect and brother Tazawama with me.
Brother, I'm one.
I'm coming at you from the prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. Okay, that's just going to be getting into the beast shall hate the whore. Judging off this video we just watched, where you got Trump walking into one of these world leader meetings and all the world leaders were silent, nobody clapped. Okay, which is expected. Trump just got through bullying their ass with all these tariffs, and still is. Okay, so these nations are holding contempt for him. But when they seen Zelensky walk through, everybody clapped. So there's nothing wrong with the audience. They're just going to show you there's nothing wrong with the audience. There was something wrong with the person they weren't clapping for. All right, these nations are angry. They're upset, which the scriptures say. I'll grab it right here in the Revelations real quick. In the book of Revelations, chapter, I believe, 18.
Hey, if I might add, you had it where Trump, when he came in, man, all right, you had the way of these people, how they was looking, man. They was looking like they was completely just at dis-ease with this guy, you know. They was sick of him, man, you know. You got to go.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 18. We're going to grab the GNT. It says, the heathen were filled with rage because the time for your anger has come. The time for the dead to be judged. The time has come to reward your servants, the prophets, and all your people, all who have reverence for you, great and small alike. The time has come to destroy those who destroy the earth. All right, so it says the heathen were filled with rage. Who are these heathen nations? Which in the NIV it says the nations were angry and your wrath has come. So these other nations are angry. You see the way they was looking at Trump, which Trump right now is the symbol of Babylon. Okay, so that was really how all these nations looking at Babylon, which the Lord sees these countries as like women. Okay, so to the Lord it looked like a group of women watching another woman walk through, and that's how it really is for all these countries. Okay, and these countries didn't agree with Babylon, so these other women didn't agree with that whore.
Right.
All right, look at this whore. She thinks she all that. She robbing us. She taking all of our money. She charging us all this.
Like a woman when they gossip, man.
Yep, exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Hey, you can read it again.
Yeah.
BAHASHAM.
What you want, the NIV?
The one you was just reading.
So it says, the nations were angry and your wrath has come. The time has come for judging the dead and for rewarding your servants, the prophets, and your people who revere your name, both great and small, and for destroying those who destroy the earth.
And you have it where America, you know, it's going to them being the hammer of the earth, man. Okay, so the things that they done did, the things that they have done, all right, eventually it's going to catch up with them. All right, and that's what you are seeing the process of it, you know, play out in front of you today. You know, these other nations, man, are not in agreement with this devil, man. All right, and soon they about to, you know, huddle up and go at it, man, with this devil.
That's right. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter. Matter of fact, I got Revelations. Chapter 17 and verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So that's the whore of Babylon sitting upon these nations and tongues, different peoples. Okay. It says, the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, which is the other nations. Okay. Which is all these Edomite nations gathered together. They're starting to hate the whore, which they were originally to band together, but now they're starting to hate the whore that's riding them, that's using them. Okay, well, she has been using them. It says, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked through what? Through way of nuclear missiles. All right. It says, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. There it is. Eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Okay, that's that. And they're going to do that with nuclear missiles, man. Thermonuclear fire. Okay, they're going to burn Babylon up. This place is done. Okay, you seen how they were looking at her when she was walking through. Okay.
Got a precept. If you finish with that one.
Give me 1 second.
And America is a great bully, man.
Yeah.
You know, you have Trump, man. You see what's going on with these tariff wars. Okay, all right, where these people are at each other's neck. Okay, and it just shows you that they are completely at disagreements, man. Okay, and how this thing is going, like the prices of food is going to be affected. The prices of just in general are just going to be hiked up, man. Okay, so you're gonna have the stirring of on this earth, okay, getting worse and worse. Okay, the tension is gonna get worse and worse here, and it's gonna be because of this horde, man. Okay.
It says in the GNT, Revelation 17:16, the 10 horns you saw and the beast will hate the prostitute. They will take away everything she has and leave her naked. They will eat her flesh and destroy her with fire. So you see how they was looking at Trump when he was walking through? Okay, they would, man, everybody was quiet. And it just reminded me of a bunch of pit bulls behind the fence. Okay, just quietly watching you walk through and just eyeing you down the whole time, waiting to attack. But knowing that they can't because the fence is holding them back. Which the fence is really the Lord holding these nations back. Okay?
And can you imagine that? A pit bull that's behind the fence who has not barked yet? That's
right, that's intimidating.
That's intimidating. He's just sitting there looking
at you, buff
but
ass.
He's vicious.
You know he finna, and you know that gate finna get open.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as soon as you get to a certain point, you know, walking past that pit bull, he gonna hop that motherfucker. He gonna try to attempt to hop that fence to get to your ass, man.
Right.
And these nations are gonna hop the fence to get to Babylon.
It's crazy because just touching up on that visual. You have a pit bull would be looking like he all good and everything, and then next thing you know, he attack. You know,
yeah.
And sooner or later, these nations are gonna go. You know, show that they're gonna attack, man. They gonna attack back. All right, but I got a precept right here. This is Jeremiah 50:14. It says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows. For she for she hath sinned against the Lord YAHAWASHI." All right, you got it, bro.
So it says, "Spare no arrows." All right, so these arrows represent nuclear missiles. All these nations round about. All right, you seen Trump done made enemies out of their closest allies. You got Canada sitting right on top of us, Mexico sitting right underneath us, and he done made enemies out of them. Okay, so America is surrounded now by the whole world. He's losing allies. All right, they're already turning up against him.
That's why you got, these other nations, you know, they're coming to some type of agreement, okay, and making covenants with each other, okay, and making it known that, you know, hey, you know what, hey, we got these missiles over here. We're gonna give you some of these missiles, man. Okay, you got they supplying each other with these missiles, man. For what? So that they could all be equipped with armor, okay, or with weapon, okay, to fight at this horde. Okay, to show that, look, hey, we backed up by a good power too, you know, which you have Russia, okay, being the forefront of that.
Yeah, that's right. That was it on that.
Come.
I got Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 7.
I think that's one. It's like, let me see.
It should say, "For she is sinning."
Yeah. Let me continue. It says, "Spare no arrows, for she have sinned against the Lord YAHAWASHI." It says, "Shout against her around about."
Shout war crash.
Shout war. Matter of fact, reading the NLT, it says, "Shout war."
Oh, like it. My bad.
Oh, you wanted it
I thought you
KJV?
was reading NLT the whole time, so like it. You got it, bro.
Oh.
You got it.
It says, "Shout against her around about. She have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down."
Which her foundations are falling, which is what's been holding her up this whole time. Her deception and her sword. Okay, her deceitfulness, or sorceries, or witchcraft. All these things is all the shit that Babylon's been doing to maintain herself she's losing it. Her money's collapsing, the dollar's collapsing. They're talking about 11 countries are now getting rid of the dollar, and they're not going to use it no more. You ain't gonna be able to use that dollar over there in those countries anymore.
Well, look how they set up with the BRICS dollar. Mm-hmm. You know, the currency with that. So it just shows you that America's losing its structure.
That's right.
It says, "For it is the vengeance of the Lord YAHAWASHI, take vengeance upon her, as she have done, do unto her."
Which money is also a defense. Okay, scriptures say money is a defense and wisdom is a defense. Okay, but with wisdom you obtain life. So if America's money is collapsing, if the dollar is collapsing, that means her defenses are collapsing. How's she gonna purchase more ammo? How's she gonna purchase more weapons and more nukes and more missiles? How's she gonna fund the army to go and fight the wars for her? Okay, that means that these nations are stripping her of her
power.
Yeah, exactly. The water, her power, her sword. Okay.
I got one more. This is 2 Ezra 16, and start at verse 13. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world."
The arrows ain't gonna miss. Them nuclear missiles ain't gonna miss.
Right.
And these plagues ain't gonna miss either. Okay, but them nuclear missiles gonna be shot into the ends of the world, from one end to the other, from the east and to the west. Okay, and they not gonna miss. So the Lord is shooting these arrows, man.
Right.
Okay, and using these other nations to do it.
Verse 14, "Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again, until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out, till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again."
Even those archers are those silos, nuclear missile silos, shooting them nuclear missiles across the earth, man. It's not, and them missiles ain't gonna turn around and say, "Yeah, we can't complete the mission." No, they're not gonna stop in midair. They're not gonna hit each other and blow up in the air. No, they're gonna hit their mark. Okay, they are making smart missiles. These missiles are smart. They specifically avoid air detection. Okay, and then come up and blow up on your ass, man. There's missiles that go through the water. We'll call torpedoes. They go through the water, okay, to avoid being detected and shot out of the air or shot out the. Yeah. These missiles are they got missiles that are super fast. They're just, you can't keep up with the speed. Hypersonic missiles. Okay. This that was on that.
Okay.
It says in the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 7 in the NLT, "All your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land." And that looked very much like the scripture in that video, which we're going to put in the intro. It says, "They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it." So at that meeting, you seen Trump walking down the aisle, and all these nations, they said the world leaders, all these world leaders, pretty much leaders of all these nations, were sitting there just looking at him. And then the person that had the video, that uploaded video, probably edited and put crickets in it. But you heard the crickets, like how quiet the room was, and it was hilarious. Okay, because nobody's really messing with Trump right now. They actually got it out for him. They just hoping that, what these nations are hoping right now is to last through Trump's term. But Trump is talking about making a third term where he can be elected again. Okay, and Trump is also, we believe Trump going to actually set up martial law, man. And a government shutdown, and that's going to halt the elections, all of that. He's going to do with all of that, man. This guy is a dictator. He's not a president. All right, he's different from the rest. He's going to do things. He said, what he said, he's going to make America great again. That means what? He's going to bring about a great change.
He going to do it. They going to do it his way, or it's going to be no way.
Exactly.
It was on that.
Yep.
So you know, you get the point. You know, through the spirit power by Shema Shah.
I got one more.
Oh, okay, slop. You got it.
It says, Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 23. It says, how was the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? You're the hammer of the whole earth. You're a big old bully, okay? And now you're going to be cut asunder. You're going to be made desolate. You're going to be emptied.
Right. They're going to be like, oh, how is this well-known, big, armored, steel, you know, big country been brought down so low? You know? How has this happened? How has this gotten to this point?
Yep.
Okay. So they're gonna be looking at it like, whoa, like, you know, this is really happening.
Yep.
You know.
And they became the hammer of the whole earth when they dropped those bombs on Japan, on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah.
When they dropped Little Brother. Okay, Little Brother was a strong bomb. It was an atomic bomb which killed thousands. Okay, tens of thousands. And then Japan kept fighting after that, so they dropped Fat Boy. Okay, Fat Boy and Little Brother. They dropped Fat Boy, which is a bigger atomic bomb that killed even more than that. And that's when they just said, fuck it, you got it, man. We give up. Okay? So that's when, ever since then, the whole world has been quiet. Because Babylon shook the earth and became that hammer. She's a hammer that slammed into the earth and shook the whole earth. Got everybody shooken up. Okay, but now the earth is about to shake her ass up. And they're going to do it in a way she can't get back up again. That's what the Lord say, I shall leave you neither root nor branch. Because these nations are afraid of Babylon. So when you're afraid, you're going to go all out and use everything you got so that person cannot retaliate again.
That's why you have Russia that way. They push one button and all their missiles being shot out.
Yep.
You know?
Exactly. Again, and they got that button. The reason they got that tactic is for America. Because they know that America going to respond with some out-of-this-world shit.
Hey, that's going to be overkill. Listen, man, if you even think about it, we're going to hit your ass with everything we got. That's overkill.
Yeah, exactly. Might as well, because if they shoot nuclear missiles out over here, or if they shoot nuclear missiles over there in Russia and they still got nuclear missiles reserved, that's going to be collateral damage. Because their nuclear missiles are going to blow up on their land as well. So they have to shoot everything off. Okay? The Lord set it up that way. You got these big old superpowers sitting in your land. If you don't get rid of them and send them all off, if somebody triggers them, they gonna mess your whole land up. It's gonna be collateral. The damage is gonna be doubled. Okay, so the Lord got it set up to, if one of these nuclear missiles get shot off, all get shot off.
Yeah.
That's why the scriptures say in Joel, you know, it's an army that was never seen before. Oh, it's a spirit. You know.
Go ahead though.
It's an army that was never seen before and will never be seen again hereafter, because they all gonna be shot off at once. All right, it's going to be used as these nuclear missiles were created for one time period and one time only, man. Okay, but that was when you closed out, King.
God, say, you know, brother, you know, brought it out, you know, call it by Shema Shai. So you see where this thing is heading towards, man, through the spirit power by Shema Shai, according to prophecy. You know, everything is starting to tie up, man. Everything is going to tie up. All right, and we almost out of here, man. Okay, so Lord willing, once again, the Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to you, Akim Aqua, to seek the Lord in truth and sincerity. We're going to close it out by giving all glory and praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Once again, double honor to those on Apostle Millstone. Teach you well till next time we say Shalom.
Shalom.